hopefully our listeners are learning something about, one, listening to whatever destiny that your child may have stored within them that you may not even be aware of. So one of the pieces that I'm getting is cultivate what it is that your child is trying to talk to you about. So we're going to go ahead and get back. We were actually just touching base in regards to some of the stories of the business that the young ladies' daughters have chosen. So let's go ahead and go to the next testimonial in regards to the business choice.
So my daughter is Cheyenne Hogan of Shy's World. Shy's World is a 10-free indie nail polish brand, and she makes her own nail polish, and she's all into cosmetics. So she started at 10 years old. She was in my iTouch. I did a random phone. It's not a phone. It was an iTouch. But she decided to create a video using my makeup. I was super upset because it was in my makeup, and I'm like, did you see this? Do you see this? And he's like, no. He pretty much didn't care because, I was into my makeup. So I noticed, I looked at it about a couple of times and realized that, oh my gosh, she's into something. So maybe I need to try to create something for her that she would love. We started making nail polish at 10 years old. She loved it. And from there, she has taken off and have explored other things. She just recently launched a brow kit, February 1st. She just recently launched her website. She has been on Etsy for the past 3 years. So it was time for us to level up because I wanted to make sure that she was serious. So now she has her own website now. And so she's branching out into other things. She's also have taught in different classrooms on a mini mani balm. That's pretty much a bath bomb, but it's for your cuticles. So she's been teaching about chemical reaction. She's been seen on the Harry TV show, Teen Boss Magazine, The Real TV show, Good Morning Washington, and on different platforms of teaching and doing workshops. So just from one video, it turned into something totally different.
Wow, just like that.
Yeah.
Now, what was this video on, you said?
She used my makeup, playing in mommy's makeup at 10 years old. And she put concealer on her lips at 10 years old. And she said, and this is how you get your Nicki Minaj lips. And it's so crazy because I don't know what I did with that video to this day, but that was the start of us forming this business.
Wow. So was that like a YouTube video she did, or?
Well, no, it was just on her iTouch. It was just on her iTouch.
Just a regular video.
Just a regular video. And I saw it. And I just, instead of me continuing to be upset about it, I saw it as an opportunity that she can create something that she really, really loved, because she is seriously into beauty. Like, she keeps her eyebrows together. She loves beauty products. And she just keeps herself together with beauty. So that's her thing. And she does it well with her eyebrows. She keeps her eyebrows on point. She arched them. She gets them threaded every 2 weeks. So she's really into it. So I saw that was something that she really enjoyed, and we decided to take it to the next level.
Oh, wow. She come to Detroit, man. She'll make a quick 5 stacks. Like, they keep the lashes. In my building alone, it's probably about 5 or 6 lash places.
I believe that lashes are it. They are the business right now.
For sure. Yeah, so she definitely picked timing is everything in business. That's one of the things that I learned in business. Timing is everything, so that's one of the things that when I talk to, new entrepreneurs about business, is like, you have to have the timing right. My first lesson was buying a payphone when cell phones were coming in business, so it was like, man, I took a big hit right away. So sometimes those lessons actually cost you, but it was a valuable lesson. So her timing is like perfect, because lashes, if you got a lash business, you can make some money for sure.
So she really focused on brows right now, but I'm
brows, that's it. Okay, brow. Okay,
I'm sure as she get older, that will probably morph into something as well, lashes and so forth.
And then the fingernail polish. So how, like, if somebody wanted to support her fingernail brand, polish brand, how would they get in contact with her?
They can go to Shy's World, SHAIS World, WORLD.com.
Okay.
And she's on Facebook as well at Shy's World Shop.
Absolutely. Hopefully we can support and generate some business. Let me ask you this, because I knew a young lady that was trying to master the nail polish thing too, but she couldn't get the shine quite right. How did she manage that?
So she has her own formula that she creates, and then she also have a top coat too. But a lot of times she likes to use glitters as well for shine, and that is her whole motto: how to sparkle and shine from within for young girls, building their confidence level.
Nice. Okay, so we 2 or 3. So we actually, I noticed we going in order. We up to what, 18 now?
Yes, we're up to 18. So 18. So I'm happy to tell you, you'll be excited to know that Xander's kind of like the OG of the group, because she just recently turned 18. She's actually been doing this for 8 years now. She also started when she was 9, and her business started just from a simple no from her dad. She was obsessed also with makeup. Wasn't allowed to have it, of course, at 9. So lip gloss was all she was allowed. And that obsession grew to her asking for it all the time. Her father said he wasn't going to buy it. He suggested she learn how to make her own. And so she did. She dedicated every single day and moment of her life to figuring out how to make lip balm and lip gloss. And that turned into me buying a kit. Something I thought that we were going to do like a mommy-daughter weekend has turned into $1 million brand 8 years later.
Wow.
So we started with lip balm, and she grew to body butters and lotions. And now we have a full manufacturing facility. And it's just, she's built an empire just from the one no 8 years ago.
Wow, that is awesome. So her brand, where can her brand be purchased?
Well, her brand can be purchased on her website at xanderbeauty.com. She's also in Whole Foods, Wegmans. She's in hundreds of boutiques across the nation and internationally. She's also in Nigeria. And right now you can find her in over 700 Target stores as well.
Awesome. You hear that, guys? Target. I mean, she's making it happen like on a national level, man. It's international, actually. You said she's in Nigeria as well. Man, this is like, Man, I'm just so excited just to be having this conversation right now, because we really, really, really have to get back, to empowering our people through entrepreneurship, and stop counting on people, to give us jobs. Because one thing I always thought about in business is like, okay, I have my degree, I had a job, but in the event something happened to me, my child has to start over. I can't will that degree. I can't will that job. So it's very unique and very special what you guys are doing. So not only are you, duplicating this with your children, but you're actually duplicating it across the country, which is something really special.
Absolutely. And one of the things I wanted to share with you is that it's not only as parents, was it important for us to make sure our kids had developed the skill set or the grit for entrepreneurship. It's also really important for us that we train our kids so they can teach other kids, because kids learn from kids, mostly. And you said something that was really profound and important to this conversation earlier when you said, I wish it took me this long to learn what I loved or what I really wanted to do. And that's what we're trying to counteract. We're giving kids opportunities today and exposing them to all the different possibilities now, no matter what age they are, 5, 6, 7 years old, so they can make educated decisions. Why do you have to wait till you graduate from high school or even college to decide to learn, to understand what it's like to be in a science lab, or to understand whether or not you want to sell hot dogs or peanut butter, or you want to make bath bombs or do hair? If you expose them to different opportunities and you create mentorship opportunities where they can learn what it's like to stand on their feet all day. Maybe I don't want to be a nurse because I don't like to stand on my feet. Maybe I'd rather be a writer, or I want to be a public speaker, whatever, just the opportunities. That exposure is really key. So they can get involved in the different aspects of creativity, whatever, makes their heart sing early on. So they can say, I love that, or maybe no, thank you. You know, so I think the more of that, the more of those scenarios that we create for our kids, the faster they'll find their love, and the faster we'll start to see them actually blossom and be able to take care of themselves and build opportunities not only for themselves, but other kids in their community. You know, instead of just wait until you do this, so then you can do this, so then you can go work for somebody else. No,
Absolutely.
you know, things, it's time for, we got to change that whole philosophy, the mindset around that.
Yeah, and I think that one other thing that we do well, I think that we teach our children that the sky is not the limit, because that's, everyone says the sky is the limit, and that's really my daughter's tagline. But with most of the girls and young men that I've come across, especially in California with our Kidpreneur workshop series, last night we had a whole panel discussion, and Zandra was in town from New York. And one thing, when the kids asked the girls, you know, how did they know that they want to start a business? All of them talked about they had this like this tingling feeling, this spiritual thing, something that just like came over them. Like if they weren't doing that, they couldn't see doing anything else. And they're very young. You know, the ages range from, you know, 9 to there's in between 18, but they were all talking about at what age that it just clicked for them. Period. And I think the other thing is, as parents, you know, back in the day we always tell kids to stay in a child place and all that. Another thing that our panel all said, that they felt like their parents let them be able to talk and voice an opinion, which is one thing I always say, like, you have an opinion within reason, you know, but they said they felt like they
you have it. It's how do you express it
Right.
respectfully.
But they felt like as parents, you know, because they're very transparent, that we give them that option of where they can be vocal about this stuff, whether it's negative or not. But, you know, you have to be able to articulate that and not, you know, be seen but not heard. That we don't operate like that, because that's how you stifle our children. You know, you stifle them when you do that, and then they can't express to you something that might be great. And the thing is, even if you don't know, that's where Raising a Mogul comes in for people. If you don't know, then you got a community that can help you. And you don't have to feel like I'm less than because you don't know. No, I don't. I can tell you anything about tech, project management, science. I can get you there. But if I want to talk about beauty soaps, I'm going to talk to Shanta, and I'm going to talk to Tamara. If you want to talk about branding, I'm going to talk to them, because that's their lane. You know what I mean? So
absolutely,
everyone has a purpose. And, you know, if you don't know, that's where we're here to help you so you can help your children.
Now that tagline, I like it. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, lastly, with parents, don't have fear, because when you have fear, you're transferring it over to your child. Be fearless, because our kids are so smart. They can manage and do anything. When I say manage, I mean like they can think of things outside the box that we're looking like, OMG. I mean, I can express when Cheyenne first started getting on stage, Tamar would say, take a deep breath, relax, she's good, she's fine. And as a parent, you know, of course you're nervous, you're looking like, oh my God. But she goes out there and they deliver, they kill it, they do what they have to do. So we have to allow ourselves to let fear not stunt our child's growth. Because we want our kids to fly. We give them the wings and we gave them the tools. So let them fly, and let's watch and make sure that we're just underneath just to be the cushion for them. But they have wings to take flight, and we need to allow them to use those wings.
And you know what's crazy? I was invited to speak to a young group about entrepreneurship, and the meeting, in my mind, I'm like trying to, think about how am I going to talk to these kids? I don't want to talk over their head, And so I just went in and just started speaking to them. And the thing that I came out with is, if I ever needed ideas, I would just get a room full of kids. I mean, because I had lowered their expectations for myself, and they came up with some great ideas. I mean, very unique ideas that probably could have been cultivated if we had something in place to keep it moving, like you guys had.
That's an interesting concept, because you know what? When kids are in their like purest state, they're super creative. It's the world, it's their environment, it's us, it's TV, it's the internet that stifles, like Tashanta said, their growth and their imagination. You know, so the less exposed they are and the more crap that's in the environment and the more naysayers, the more they see, which is why Raising a Mogul is here, so that when those gifted kids get home, the family is already inspired and prepared to support and help. But if they're around all the negativity or the people, if they don't see the possibilities and feel the possibilities, the more they grow in that, the less creative they become, the less the ideas, then they just feel defeated. And it's like, who cares anyways, whatever. Then that's by the time they're like 17, 16, some 13, 14. My daughter, our nonprofit, we do a workshop series with some of the detention centers and a lot of like Yamia and underserved areas. And a lot of those kids, 12, 13 years old, the hope is just yanked right out of them. Yeah. You know, they've already given up. It's like, well, this is all I know. So ... you know, so that's why it's really important for us to catch the kids early and listen to them. You sitting there asking those kids for ideas, like some of those kids, that's the first time any adult has ever even listened, you know, has even paid attention to what they feel, what they think, and made them feel like their position is important. How do we expect our kids to go to a job, whether it's at McDonald's or Target or Wendy's or wherever, a factory, and take direction from a supervisor when they don't even understand how to take direction from us? They don't understand what proper, constructive, you know, debate looks like, or healthy conversation looks like, you know, because we didn't teach it to them. So if the parents aren't teaching it, the grandparents, or they don't see those normalities or that process of relationships in the home, how do we expect them to go outside? You better go to school and act right. Well, you acting right at home? Did you teach them how to act right? What does act right even mean? You know what I mean? Like, let's start there, Mom. You know, so you know better. Do they know better? Did you have the conversation? You know what I mean? Like, what does that look like? Did you role play it out? I role play with my kids. Seriously, you need to know. So if he says this and then you say that and then she says that, this is what you're going to say. You're going to do that? What? No, let's start over. Let's start over. Because life is crazy and it's coming at them so fast. What we as adults, we're filtering out a lot of stuff. The kids have all this stuff coming to them and they're trying to still make good decisions, figure out wrong from right. And that wrong from right thing is completely different than when we were younger. You know,
it's
like
just stuff, great now. Everything is great.
It's just like whatever you want, however you want it, and you'll make the decision. And then yet we send the kids off and it's like, you do you. Because mommy got her, I got my own stuff to do. Oh, okay. And then they say they're 18 and you're talking about, I don't know what happened to that.
Yeah, you're right, man. That's
also, I want to say too, that even with that, imagine like we're adults and we know we're in business. Imagine our kids when they network with one another. Imagine, look at Tamara's network. She's networking with other young entrepreneurs. So she's the network within Raising a Mogul Community. These kids are millionaires to millionaires. Imagine that.
Like Xandra.
Xandra. Xandra. Millionaires to millionaires. I mean, just imagine that, because they're able to network and so forth, and at a young age. And in Raising a Mogul Community, this already has set the precedence for that. Like, they're not going to have to wait till they're 30, 40 years old, like myself being an entrepreneur, and I have to go to these businesses, the business networks. Of course, we're going to always network all the time, but I have a core group of young people that I can contact. Oh, I need that. Let me contact Sandra for that. Let me contact Yuri for that. You know, they have a network that they're on yachts and so forth at 18, 20.
Yeah, that's important. That's an important point, Tashanta. You know, planting your kids in where they already want to be. And that's one of the things that was really strategic about with Xandra. Even when she was 12 or 13, I never allowed her age to be a barrier for what she could or could not do. We just out the whole 8 years, we really didn't take no for an answer. And she's been able to connect with kids at certain levels. We did that strategically early, you know, so that way when she was making $1 million, she already knew what that conversation was going to look like, you know, so she was already had a seat at the table. So it was never, you're not doing that, or you're not good enough for that, so you can't sit in that room, or you can't have a seat at that table. It was, okay, where we need to be and what time we need to be there. Let's get there early, you know? So, but I think but once again, that all comes back from the mindset of the parents, of the guardian, the grandparent, whoever's in charge of seeding these things into the children so that they feel like they're worthy. You know, so that's why Raising a Mogul is so important.
Absolutely. And they say, as a man, think of it, as it is, so
Mm-hmm.
if you don't have that seed, it's kind of tough for you to plant it, in your child. There was part of the quote that you were saying. You said the sky is the limit. It's more to that. I like that. What was the other part?
It's the sky is not the limit. That's
the sky is not the limit.
That is.
And there was another part to it.
Huh?
It was another part I read today too in the email. I think it was the sky is not the limit because somebody has already walked on the moon.
On the moon, yeah. So that's the quote that it came from, that I seen. And the thing was, it always resonated with me. And my daughter is actually diagnosed as ADHD, so it really, for her, it was like her focus. So she's focused on business. So I kind of feel like sometimes. I was like, she didn't have anything she wanted to focus on in school.
Right.
If you focus on her business, she can tell you everything else about her business. She's very focused when it comes to that. And so it was kind of me making sure that she didn't feel like she was different, and I had to share with her all these millionaires like Brunson and all them that were dyslexic, and they were ADHD, and look where they are. I said, because you know
Absolutely.
what, you're out. So what I did is took her learning disability and made it into a learning opportunity. So I don't let her look at it like that when people say things, about you ADHD or this and that, you're too busy, you're too that. And the thing is, like, what do you expect? Because I'm a person in technology. These kids are born into technology. So their interest isn't the same as when we were growing up, because they have more things to do. They have more access to things. They're not just going outside and playing. That's it. They got so much access. So it's not that they are abnormal. It's just that they've moved with the times. And so the times that they're born in is just way different than ours. And we have to figure it out as parents, and it's just a different time. So I always want kids to know that you don't just look at the ceiling. Always try to go. Don't get comfortable where you are. There's always something you do. And I think another thing that we do as moms and fathers in our group very well is that our kids are not just about business. They give back. So all of our kids, they all teach. And they teach kids that are less fortunate than them. And they don't treat them any different. Period. Wow. That they have that in them. They want to help. They go volunteer. And they go help feed the homeless. They do those things because they like that. Our kids have a social responsibility, even though you don't want to put that on them, but when you're out in the public and other people see you, you have a responsibility. And that's something I think we let our kids know. Other people are looking up to you because you come from where they come and they see where they can be. You're not, this great entertainer that's out here and all that, you're coming from where they come and you built your business. Nothing against an entertainer or whatever, but they've seen grind in the work, because it's not easy raising moguls at all, and as parents it's not. There's times, there's been events. We were at the LA Cookie Con 2 weeks ago and it was mayhem. These kids we could not take a break because the kids were in line for slime all the time and they watched us eat, and it was just like a whole other thing. And then my kid became that slime celebrity where she just wanted to create because all the kids watching her create, and then I learned how to make slime so well that weekend. Because
awesome. Man, I feel like I'm on a show with millennial moms. Like, y'all just got it all figured out, man.
And we're not millennial moms, see?
Man, it's so complicated, man, to relate, because we always taught like what our parents taught us, but it seemed like y'all kind of changed your way of thinking, because
breaking the cycle.
As kids, it's like you have to break the cycle with a new sense of parenting, and it seemed like y'all just have it all figured out. But we're just gonna take one last commercial break, and then we'll be right back. Man, I'm having a great time.
So are we. Thank you.
Say one song so you got a couple minutes.
Okay. Yeah, so we're gonna play one more song.
Okay.
And then we'll come back. Then we only have like 4 minutes.
Okay.
So we'll start kind of closing it out. If you guys want to remind about how they can, get the products for the girls, stuff like that, we can do that on the closeout.
Okay.
I'm usually out in LA. I used to come out there a lot last year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I gotta.
It's raining like crazy out here lately.
Right now, yeah.
Oh man, try some freezing rain.
That's what
No,
it is, LA.
we're dead. We're dead.
Yeah. So what's the location? So
Los Angeles.
you're in Los Angeles.
Mhm.
Yeah, you in where? You in LA.
Yeah, I'm in LA. Yeah.
And then tomorrow, where are you?
I'm in Buffalo, New York.
Oh, you in New York. Okay.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, so y'all spread. Man, how y'all stay so close? I guess
We
this
talk
type
every
of
day like this.
communication, y'all figured it out.
Technology. We talk
Yeah.
every day like this.
That's good stuff, man.
Facebook inbox and you know, like Tashanta said, Xandra has been with her and Yamiya the last 3 days. So
I just dropped Xandra off today.
she's on a flight now coming back home.
Yeah, I just
Really?
dropped
So
her off
yeah,
today.
she had filming in LA. So I was like, Tashanta, can I send my girl to you? Can I mail her?
Parent manager for Xandra. I was able to see behind the scenes of a celebrity kid. Woo. That's why you see
Wow.
bags.
So you don't get no sleep either, huh?
We started at 9 o'clock yesterday. We get home to 11 p.m. Like, no
Yeah,
Wow.
my child. Yeah, she's.
I was like, woo.
I don't
So
know
I
what I'm
I
gonna
have a
do.
question. So I'm dealing with the same thing with my youngest son, right? He telling me he want to do tap. And you know, I'm old school. Like, you ain't about to be up in there with all them, right? But he's very talented. I mean, so
What's the question?
let,
Should you do it?
let him do it.
Do it.
You
You
got
have to
Gregory
do it.
Hines and Sammy Davis. What are you?
Listen, my son started out dancing
Dancing.
because he just wanted to dance. So I had him in ballet, I had him in tap, I had him in tumbling, I had him in jazz, everything until he decided he didn't want to do it anymore. And you know what happened? He also, then I put him, we talked about the exposure and the opportunities. I put him in a summer camp where he was able to try all these different sports. He decided football was his love. Championship football player today, championship wrestler, and now he's training for the NFL. But
Wow.
every single trainer he works with, if he hadn't have danced, if he hadn't done wrestling,
helped his
he would not be
footwork.
he wouldn't be the football player he is today.
Mm.
But my brothers were like, "Are you serious, T? I'm not coming to the recital." They was at every recital. And he was
Wow.
always the only little boy. He was always the carrot or the leprechaun. So, but he was little. He was 3. So he danced from like 3 to like 6 or 7. But I say do it. If that makes his heart sing, if that's what his passion is, you do it and you support him full force.
All right. I guess, I don't know. 3
That's
to 1.
it. Yep.
Hey, welcome back. We're finishing up the last segment of the show, talking about kids and entrepreneurship. We're going to go ahead and get ready to finalize the show. But we're just going to finish up this segment. Ladies, if you could, just share that information one more time, how our listeners can help your daughters in their business.
Absolutely. So you can find Raising a Mogul on all social medias at Raising a Mogul. Just Google Raising a Mogul, and our free Facebook community, our courses, everything we offer, and the ways we can support you, parents, will be available. You can find me, Tamara Zantel, on, once again, all social media at Tamara Zantel. And then my daughter, my young mogul, Xandra, you can find her at Xandra Beauty, or XandraBeauty.com is her website.
Absolutely. Now, let's just back up just a quick second. Now, we're talking about entrepreneurship. We talked about them giving back and being humble. Of course, that's a big part of success. Are there any tips like that you can give our listeners? What happens when they start making the money? Like, what are the conversations when the kids start making money? Because, of course, naturally, they want to spend it, you know, so what conversations do you have there?
We discussed reinvesting it back into the business. So that's definitely key, so they can understand the recycling process of, we have to buy more materials and we have to do marketing. We have to, you know, re-upload our inventory. So that's one of the discussions that the child needs to see. Of course, give them a little incentive, but not to the point where, oh my God, you about to bankrupt them because you didn't give them too much.
We run the businesses like a company. Where
Right.
if my child is a CEO of this company, we have a CFO, I'm the COO. So we have business meetings every week, just like any other corporation in America or wherever. And she gets a salary. She knows that if she makes this much money, what she keeps, whether she's making money from talking on a stage in some other city, or she's making money through her website or at an event. So she understands what she's going to make for the job that she does.
Anybody else? You got anything else?
Yeah, I'd say the same that I do for Yuri, because I really wanted her to understand costing. And so she gets a percentage, like she gets a percentage for the different events and different things that she does. But majority of the money goes back into the business or into her foundation. So she doesn't get to go and just buy everything. And then I've learned that it's different when we go out to eat. Last night we went out to eat. She wanted to know, was I paying from my money or the business money? Was it the business dinner?
I love those
the business
questions.
dinner. We was going to have something cheap.
It's a business dinner. We have something. I love it. You know what? Xandra didn't. I don't think Xandra really spent money for real. Besides like $20, $15. When she spent money, she spent real money. She bought two things. First, she walked into a car lot and bought her first car in cash. The second thing she spent money on was a pair of $2,000 Louis Vuitton boots that she had been lusting after for like 4 years. Like they never go out of style. I don't know. We went to Louis, the store, did the whole experience, and that was what she saved her money for. That's what she wanted. So those are her first two major purchases, and I think she was 16.
Wow, man, and it's money that she created.
Right.
Yes,
that's
absolutely.
Awesome. Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So this has been an awesome show, man. I'm so excited that we were able to do it. Hopefully we can do some sort of program where maybe we can touch down in Michigan and get some things going, because it's a lot of kids here that are just as innovative, but just looking for someone to give them that push, that hope, and the biggest thing that I always like to talk about, and that's kind of one of the movements that I'm doing, is faith versus fear. You got to get over the fears, and you got to have that faith in order to get to where you're trying to go. Because on the other side of fear is truly greatness, so I just had an awesome time once again. Thank you for coming out on the show.
Thank you.
And we definitely look forward to talking.
I appreciate you for the opportunity. Thank you.
Yes.
All right, no problem. All right, so we're going to go ahead and close out. To all our listeners, thanks for tuning in to KD Talk Radio. Once again, you guys have an awesome week, and I will too.
Okay. All right, then. There we go.
Good job.
Great.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Good.
Stop the recording.
Huh? What was that?
I asked her to stop the recording.
Oh, you did? Oh, okay, good.